we're gonna solve question number 1768. It's basically merge string alternatively, and this is the DSA series, and this series is initiated from beginner to the advanced level for mastering DSA. Okay, so yesterday we solved question number 1678. It's basically command line question. We have to write like cool and something that, okay, converting from parentheses to O and like that. Okay, if you have not watched yesterday's video, link in a button, you can check out yesterday's video. Okay, and if you find any doubts about code and if you want solutions, so just check out GitHub repository link where each and every codes are uploaded in C, C++, and JavaScript, these three languages. Okay, so and one thing, firstly I'll explain question, then explain as example one explanation, and after that we discuss about approaches for this, and at the end we can move to the code part of this, and lastly we can see time and space complexity for this. So now I'll explain question. So you are given two strings. Okay, you have two strings, word one and word two. Merge the strings by adding letters in alternative order. You have to merge strings by adding alternative order, like first in first. Take first character from first string, second from second string, then again third character from first string, fourth from second string, like that. Okay, and starting with word one. Okay, you have to start initiate with word one. If a string longer than the other, append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string. Is basically trying to saying if word one has only three, word four has six letters. So firstly do alternative for three. Okay, each three indexes. After the remaining three, add at the end of the merge string. Okay, so and okay, append on the last of the merge string, return the merge string. Okay, we have to return whole merge string, and like, so this is the simple question. Okay, now we move to the simple question. Okay, now we move to the example one, so you can clear about that. Okay, word one is ABC and word two is PQR, and so it basically become APBQCR. Okay, so here you can see that APBQCR, and if you don't have to read, you can read explanation like APBQCR and APBQCR. Okay, it's become other two examples are also here. So here conditions is word one dot length is greater than or equal to one, and word two dot length is less than or equal to 100. Okay, word one is basically greater than or equal to 1, and word 2 is less than or equal to 100. Word 1 and word 2 consist lowercase English letters. Okay, both of the word are consist only English letter and in lowercase. Okay, so that's like our plus point. So I hope you got clear about questions and like its example. So now we move to the approaches part. So for this, okay, we have I have in mind like two, three approaches. So firstly, we can use a new string like merge into string, and then we can like use while loop and check for each and every indexes, if any condition, and add the new letters to the our merge string. Okay, this is first approach. We can do that. Okay, second approach is like smaller than this. We can use directly an empty array, and then like what take length of the whole both words, and like use while loop to the length, and after that we can directly push each and every element to the empty array, and while printing we can use like joint to what convert our array into this string. Okay, so this is also we can do, and uh, each of this has similar time and space complexity. It's basically order of n plus n. So okay, we'll start from writing first approach code. Okay, and after that we can use another. Okay, while writing. So first take let merge. Okay, we have taken an empty string. So now let I equal to 0. Okay, and we have also on j. So let j is equal to also 0. Now we taking while loop. Okay, I is less than now a word. Okay, sorry. Here is word one dot length. Okay, and j is less than word two dot length. Okay, so for this condition, using if I word one dot length. Okay, I'm missing something. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so we have word one is our first string, so then it's fine. Okay, so now whenever our I is less than of word one dot length. Okay, so what we use merge plus equal to word one of I. Okay, so we add value of word one of I to the merge. Okay, and then we use I plus plus because we have to move to the next index. Then we have to take one more if condition. Okay, this is for word two. Okay, j less than word two dot length. Okay, so for this we use same merge plus equal to word two j. Okay, and j plus plus. Okay, so now j is plus. Okay, so now we have two if else condition and one while loop. The while loop go to the last of the our both words, and if two conditions check for length of the word, and if their length is higher than I value, so it will push the character of I to the our merge value. Okay, so now we have completed each and everything. So I'll directly use return. Okay, and merge. Okay, so now I'll run this for lead code for like test cases given three. Okay, so our approach is right. Test cases are accepted. Also, we can use submit like for each and every test case check. So you can clearly see that our 108 all test cases are passed. Okay. So now the thing is we'll discuss this is first approach of us. Okay. For this approach, we taken an string. Okay, we completed this by taking an empty string and comparison between and okay. The second approach we're gonna do is by taking an empty array. Now we move to our second approach. Okay, so firstly I'll remove this one. So for second approach, we're gonna use an empty array. So I'll take let arr equal to empty array. Okay, and another thing we want I is equal to 0. Okay, then, okay, we have one more variable called length, which is basically length of our given two strings. Okay, so it's basically maximum between our two variables. So whatever we're gonna use math dot max. Okay, math dot max for one word one dot length. Okay, or word two dot length. Now any of their word has greater character, so it will become length variable. Okay, so now we have to take one while loop while I is less than length. Okay, whenever our highest length is greater than I, we are keep it our loop working. Okay, so for this loop gonna work. So now what we have our each and everything. So now we want to our if else conditions to push the our values. So first if. Okay, if for what? Okay, if exist, so what exists? Word of I. Okay, is there word of I? So for this condition we directly use arr dot push. Okay, to directly push our word one. Okay, of I. So if these conditions exist, we directly push our word one. Okay, and below I'll take another conditions for word two. If word two of I. Okay, is this exist, array dot push word of I. So now we've forgotten one condition because we have to iterating for next of the I, so we are using I plus plus directly. If this checks for word one of I is exist, yes exist, so it will directly push word one, word one of I, and again this becomes checks word two of I exist, yes exist, so it will push this. Okay, and then it will go to the next index. Okay, and in case this don't exist, so we don't using else condition, so it will directly move to this condition. Okay, I hope you got clear about this. So now we are have to return this, so return. Okay, for return there is twist, we have taken an empty array, so we have to convert this array into the string. So for converting these strings we already learned what we're gonna use join. Okay, so it's basically work like our answer dot join. Okay, but like we are already storing like character value, so we can directly join it. But for join we have to take like no one space like gap between the characters, so using like this between nothing space. Okay, so firstly we'll check for given three test case. So okay, here we don't take an answer array, we take an arr as array name. So okay, now it will have to accept each and everything. Okay, accepted, our everything is fine. Okay, I'll submit this for the lead code test cases check. So okay, you can clearly see that this approach is also accepted. So now I will discuss about time and space complexity for these both questions. So our space complexity is becomes like order of n plus m because we are adding two strings. Okay, so and also each and every condition we are adding, so we don't have to take words and words for each and every. It's become order of n plus m, and our time complexity is basically depends upon our length. Okay, so length is in this case, for our length what I am trying to saying is about this, like time complexity depends upon length. Okay, and length is depends upon both of the like length of the first string and second string. So time complexity becomes upon order of n plus m. Okay, sum of the both. Okay, we have to iterate for both, so it becomes order of n plus m in both of the approaches. Okay, for both the approaches time complexity is order of n plus m and space complexity is order of n plus m. Okay, so currently I have these two approaches in my mind. Okay, so if you find any new approaches, okay, just like write in comment section. Okay, I'll review it, check it. Okay, so this is today's question. I hope you got clear about each and everything. So now we move to the like tomorrow's questions, basic details. So okay, tomorrow we're gonna solve question number 1528. Is basically shuffle the string. Okay, this question. Okay, again this is string based question. Okay, you can see this is easy level question, but the logic building for this question is little bit complex. Okay, you have to read carefully things. So here are what question given. So you are given a string of s and integers array. Okay, you are given n string of s and array of indexes. Okay, so you like we are already see question of like nums. Okay, nums array and index arrays are given, and we are taking like nums value and substituting that value on the index arrays value. Like if index array showing like third, so we are substitute value of nums to the third index. Okay, in new array. Okay, This is similar, okay, but this question is based on string. So directly I'll explain you example one so you can clear about. For C, it will showing you five or like fourth index, okay. So you have to subtract C on fourth, okay. For O fifth, so each and every directly you can do 4, 5, 6 times, and again this. So it also becomes sometime like proper word lead code becomes, and this C, okay, a string and index is array, okay. So you have to try this question, okay, and I hope you can solve this question and post it on LinkedIn and Twitter and mention me, okay. And for this question we're gonna use some new inbuilt function, okay, and like some new things, okay. So okay, be ready for tomorrow's video. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and if you have not started yet DSA with DAX series, okay, this is the best time to start series from day one, okay. And for mastering DSA is to not directly starting from advanced level. You have to learn beginner videos, how logic building and approaches are building in mind code writing, okay. So you have to learn these parts, okay. You can directly solve question, that's not matter. You think quality things, okay. Quality things takes times to understand. So okay, now thanks for watching the video. Meet on tomorrow's video.